Our final speaker before we go into our breakout groups is Caitlin Lee. She's the chair of the Unite Hospitality branch in Glasgow, which is a pretty inspiring and militant group of young workers, actually. Caitlin, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. So with the COVID pandemic, the deep gaps in society have been shown, and the hospitality industry is a perfect example of how an industry can be affected by mishandling of governments. The hospitality industry has undoubtedly been one of the hardest hit, with at least 58,000 workers losing their jobs in Scotland in the past year. There's been a massive financial impact on an already precarious workforce, from statutory sick pay for self-isolation, job losses, and 80% furlough. Hospitality workers are some of the lowest paid, and to now be reduced to 80% has made it more difficult financially. The redundancies done by so many big hospitality employers has once again shone the light on the difficulty there is to work in this industry. With the extension of furlough till September, which is entirely welcomed by workers, this summer should not reciprocate last year's massive job losses. The government's mishandling of the extension of furlough was raised and warned about multiple times before the multiple extensions. The cliff edge of furlough's initial ending in the summer of 2020 undoubtedly played a part in these massive losses. Now, with the extension till September, hospitality workers should have jobs to go back to, but in a now totally changed industry. Our industry is being mishandled and is in an unsafe industry despite the country still being in lockdown. The quarantine hotels were launched by the UK government to try and control the spread of COVID through international travel, but our workers are concerned by the lack of planning and safety measures being put in place to protect those workers in the hotels. The case for enhanced health and safety measures for these workers comes from the Office of National Statistics, showing hotel workers were amongst the most at risk of dying from COVID. What's important to note here is the age demographic of a relatively young workforce, yet they are still at the most risk. This shows that measures in place are either insufficient or not being adhered to. To now put infectious travelling guests into quarantine hotels is sure to put workers at an even more dangerous and deadly risk. In the quarantine hotels, Unite Hospitality is calling for the needs of enhancement in PPE with the mandated use of FFP2 masks, better ventilation in rooms, strict protocol when cleaning rooms, ensuring the most minimum of contact between workers and guests, and above all, workers in the quarantine hotels to be tested daily and receive priority access to vaccinations. Without this, our hotel workers are being put at an incredible risk and increasing the spread of COVID. The poverty rate of SSP has also been an issue for hospitality workers. The hospitality industry is a physical industry and working from home is not possible, which leads to workers rushing back after contracting COVID, possibly worsening the spread and at a detriment to their own health and well-being. The choice of paying rent or recovering from a deadly virus should not be left for the workers to have to decide. Lastly, I'd like to end on what hospitality workers have done to fight back on these inequalities and have shown that the pandemic will not stop workers organising for their rights. Some examples of the wins in Glasgow show how together you can create a safer and better workplace. Our members at G1 forced their employer to reinstate 2,000 workers after submitting a collective letter and won back their jobs. Our members at West Brewery forced their employer to reverse their redundancies and reinstate workers after furlough was announced. Just further than Glasgow, members at the Pitlochry Hotel fought and won against the forced eviction of 24 migrant workers. These are massive wins, and it should be highlighted that the power of workers coming out of this pandemic to shape and change the industry of hospitality. What should be highlighted in these workers are some of the most precarious in society, and through their collectivisation at Unite have fought back and won. As Glasgow branch chair, I'm at the forefront of seeing how remote campaigning and solidarity between workers is contributing to the ability to fight for equality in our industry. COVID was the perfect storm for workers coming together, and the momentum will continue. Thank you.